Hello and welcome to Roy's Retro Reviews, the review show where I review older video games because, why not? It's fun. This week's review is for The Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare, which was released in 1992 for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So this is the second Simpsons game I've done. The first one was back when I was originally doing these reviews, and was the old arcade game, and I love the old arcade game. It's fun. Bart's Nightmare is a different sort of game. It's basically a bunch of mini games and an overworld map, and to this day, it is one of the weirdest Simpsons games I've ever played. So like usual, I will dive into my past with this game, and then I will go into my present playthrough and then give my verdict. So let's get this review on the road. So I was a big fan of The Simpsons back in the 90s. Pretty much up to 2002 maybe. I watched every episode and I loved the show. Like, it was great. After that, it kind of goes downhill. Primarily after around season 10, you get hit and miss. But anyway, back in the 90s, I was a huge Simpsons fan. So there were three big Simpsons games. There was the arcade game, Bart's Nightmare, and I can't remember the third one, but I remember you being strapped in a chair, and it was another mini-game puzzle, but you're being, like, tortured by Krusty the Clown or something. I don't remember the exact name of the game. I'll have to look it up. But those are the three big Simpsons games I remember. Bart's Nightmare was the first of the three, or the second of the three to come out. Or maybe it was the first. I don't remember, but I remember it was the second one I played. And it was one of those games I played I got frustrated a lot with because of the game mechanics. It's overly difficult. Not only are the minigames ridiculous and don't really tell you what you're doing, you just kind of have to push buttons to figure out. The overworld map is confusing as hell as well. So the basic storyline of Bart's Nightmare, before I get, is you're playing as Bart who falls asleep at his desk while doing his homework. Your job is to collect these pages of his homework so when he wakes up, he can get a passing grade on his tests. There are several different mini-games. Each mini-game is different with different mechanics, and you have to do all of them in order to get the highest score and basically get Bart an A in the class. The different mini-games are, there's Bartzilla, where you turn into basically Bartzilla, and you have to destroy the army, and eventually fight King Homer and Momthra. Each one of those is a different page, so there's 2 pages for this door. There's 8 total. Another one is you're in Bart's bloodstream, and you have to fight Adams. And that one's probably the easiest. The yellow door is Itchy and Scratchy are trying to kill you. Once again, it's another 2-part where you have to kind of locate different things and find the page before you die. Next one is Bartman, where you're flying around the city as Bartman. You have to defeat different other people, such as Sherry and Terry. And I remember Smithers and definitely Smithers. I think Mr. Burns. Yeah, Mr. Burns is the last boss for that one. Once again, you do that. And then the last one is Indiana Bart, where you have to go through different, basically survive the Temple of Maggie and get the reward at the end. If you do those enough times, like I said, some of them are worth 2 because they're different parts of the mini game. You get all 8 pages, and depending on if you get all the pages and points, you get a lot of grade that influences how all the characters react to you at the end of the game. To do these mini games, you have to go over the overworld map, which is basically Evergreen Terrace. It has a different name, I think, but it's Evergreen Terrace. And find the pages that are floating around. This is where it gets really dumb. Is you have to avoid different people from the shows, like Fairy Lisa, the bullies, Principal Skinner, and different other people. The problem I have with this, and especially when I was originally playing this game, is I didn't understand the mechanics of this. Is you had to find these pages, but you're just walking along, and it didn't really give you any directions on how these pages showed up. You just kind of had to guess which way to go and figure it out. It's really annoying, and it frustrated me as a kid. However, I played this game religiously as a kid because I wanted to beat it. I never did. But my favorite minigame back then was... Bartman's, I think, the greatest minigame in this game. It's really fun, and it's probably the simplest to understand. Followed by Itchy and Scratchy. I think that was another really fun minigame. But as a kid, I just didn't understand this game. I played it a lot, but I didn't understand its game. It's frustrating. Even my dad didn't understand this, or my sister. Nobody I ever played this game with understood it. But we all it was The Simpsons, so I just liked playing it because, I gotta play as Bart and do all these cool things from the show and see different people from the show. So that was really my main attraction as a kid. But I didn't really enjoy... I guess I kind of enjoyed it as a kid, but I just didn't understand it. I just, play it for a little bit, do a couple mini games, and then quit. I never got past, like I said, I think 4 pages was the most I ever got. So going back to this game as an adult, I still have the exact same problems. The game does a terrible job of explaining how the overworld works. Between not telling you how to restore health, you kind of just have to guess your way to figure out that you have to collect disease with the bubblegum. Finding pages is still ridiculous. You just basically walk and avoid things until you get lucky. That's it. It could, you could find one, a couple seconds. Other times you could walk in the streets for like 3 minutes, and 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes 10. I think was the longest time it took me on this playthrough to find one page. Controls are terrible for all the minigames other than Bartman. Bartman's probably the easiest to control. Same with Itchy and Scratchy, which explains why I probably like those ones, is control-wise they're easy. Bartzilla's, I don't understand how you shoot things. I'm pushing different buttons to shoot lasers and fireballs, and I'm still missing everything, and it doesn't really explain what the heck I'm doing. Bloodstream one's okay, but all the minigames other than, like I said, really Bartman and Itchy and Scratchy are terribly designed. And the really only redeeming quality from this game is really just kind of it's kind of a funny Simpsons-y kind of thing. But even then, it's not that great of a Simpson cameo game. I think the arcade game's better in that aspect, and same with the third Simpsons games that I can't remember. Those mini games were actually doable and were fun, but this one's just a compilation of terrible mini games, terrible game design, and it's really not that fun. It's about as fun as I remember as being a child, and even then, this game was, I did it because I had nothing better to do. Uh-oh. Bart's Nightmare is your traditional licensed game. You play it because it's something that you enjoy or you like the property of, but it is a terrible game overall. I'm giving Simpsons Bart's Nightmare... Oh, before I give it the rating, I don't do the buy, rent, pass system on the retro reviews for those of you who's the first time and have watched the other reviews. I don't do buy, rate, pass. Instead, I do what's called the nostalgia factor thingy. Classic means the game was good back then, it's good now, you should go play it. Fond memories is, I love the game as a kid, I'm playing it now, and, I like the game on a personal level, but game design and everything is not that great, and it'd be kind of a rent category if I was playing it today. But, I still enjoy going back and playing it just because of those memories, but it's nothing special. Why didn't I like this game is the third rating, which is I hated it as a kid, I'm playing it now, I'm trying to figure out why I didn't care for this game. And the last one is Terrible of Terribles, which is the game was bad when it was released, it's still terrible. Bart's Nightmare is a terrible of terribles. I don't understand this game, still don't. It's just pretty much just a cash-in game. The ending's kind of dumb, the way the game's set up is dumb. I didn't care, I only played it as a kid because I had nothing better to do, or nothing to rent sometimes, but I never really understood the game, and I still don't. So there you go, Terrible of Terribles. That's it for this week. Join in 2 weeks for the next retro review, which will probably not be in the Genesis SNES time frame. This is the second one in a row I've done. I try to jump around generations, so I can probably guarantee that. But thanks for listening, everybody, and until next time, make sure to check out Rule of 3 for all our video reviews, news posting, editorials on Wednesday, and soon-to-be Let's Plays and other podcasts that we do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Like us on Facebook and Twitter, and until next time, play more old games. They're fun. Well, some of them, not this one, but others are. So until next time, remember to trust in the Rule of 3.